to Twitch. Super.
Oh, were you? The actual Twitch channel?
Yeah, no, that's why I wasn't showing up on my YouTube.
Oh, yeah.
I think that all makes sense, Bit. I first of all, I like the idea of deadlines of, first of all, knowing who's going to cast, second, who's going to be playing in what game, and which games are being streamed.
Yeah.
I think all of that is very smart.
On my YouTube Live, the audio is coming through. But if you guys wanted to set up a test channel on Twitch, I'm also fine with that.
I would need to. I would want to set it up into the RLOF Gmail account.
Can you make two different Twitch accounts with the same email? Or like start different channels under the same account?
I don't know. I had assumed so, but I never actually checked. I'm happy to.
Yeah, I don't know if you can make two different channels from the same email account, but I know you can have multiple accounts signing into the same channel. If that makes any sense.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know why we couldn't just... Yeah, I don't know. Go ahead, Bit.
You cannot have multiple streams on one account, but you can authorize other people to stream to your channel. So we could actually, instead of us using the RLOF stream key, we could just authorize Musical Foxes to stream to the RL Old Farts channel and Bitpost and Riffraff from our actual accounts to stream there. That's not the question that I'm asking. So yes, I think we need to have somebody use a new email address, create a new Twitch account that's a throwaway just for test streaming to that. I also think it would make sense to, as part of the caster onboarding process, to do a dress rehearsal with the full scenes where we get a couple of people to play a full game and literally go through it, so that we have the experience of play-by-play, color, just once, where you go through it once offline, save the recording of it, right? So let me back up. Let's say we're onboarding AJ Styles he's never done it before. We're onboarding him for next week. We have a dress rehearsal on Friday with Riff and AJ Styles, because he's going to be casting with Riff. And then you go through it, and we get some people from RLOF to come in and play a casual game or whatever. And we have them literally cast an entire, 2 series. So they get a feel for that flow. And then at the end of it, we say, congratulations, you're onboarded. Here's the link to the VOD on RL Old Test. If you want to watch what it looked like and how it plays back, you can watch this. You don't have to, but here it is, so that you can review your dress rehearsal practice.
So I like this idea, but I actually want to go further back in time a little bit and actually create a process flow chart, if you would.
Cool.
So first and foremost is, yeah, absolutely. I'm an operations guy, so organization of this is like, I go crazy without it. So first of all, someone is interested. Oh, Foxes, you're muted now. Yeah, cannot hear you at all.
Nope, can't hear you.
Nothing. Did you do anything on your computer since you last talked and now?
Obviously.
I can't mute you, so that's not me.
Yeah, no, it's not just you.
All right, while you figure that out, so Bitpost, somebody says, hey, I'd like to cast. What's the first thing that should happen?
An interview with Musical Foxes.
Yes.
So like a voice interview to find out what they're interested in. And so I think that one of the things I'm gonna step even farther back and talk more big picture, like leadership in terms of community and volunteer organizations. One of the most important things is to build that community, that pool of talent in an area where you're not paying them. And that's difficult, right? Because the motivations for people that are volunteering their time are different than people that are working their job. And if you go back to like Maslow's hierarchy of needs, right? There's food, clothing, shelter. Don't give me that look, Foxes. at the very, hey, I can hear you again.
Yeah, I'm muting and unmuting. It's working.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, cool. The thing that makes people stick around, the way that you pay them in a volunteer community, is assuming that they've already fulfilled those base requirements, and now we're just talking about recognition among their peers, right? That's the top part. So literally telling them, hey, you did a great job, thank you so much, or when you're in the channel doing chat, like, in the Discord, and you say special thanks to our casters Riff Raff and Bitpost this week, they did a great job. That is how you pay them, and it's important that people get those paychecks, otherwise they stop coming and they stop showing up. That recognition, like letting other people see you, is how we end up paying those people. And so now hang on to that, keep that in mind. When you have that first call with Musical Foxes, instead of getting a lecture about what it is, ask them what they're interested in, so they get a chance to talk about what they want to do, what they're excited about. And so it's almost more of an opportunity for them to talk, and that gets them invested in the organization. And once they have that investment, it's way easier for them to take directions from any of us later on down the line.
That makes sense.
If instead they show up and we give them a lecture about what it is and give them the Caster's Bible and all of that stuff, then it's more like work, and we haven't seen them. We don't know who they are. They haven't really invested in us. What's happened is they showed up and we gave them a bunch of homework. If instead, whoever it is that's doing that onboarding interview just asks them questions. Yeah, so what's your experience? What is it you want to do? How do you envision, like, how many do you want to cast a week? Like, what kind of stuff do you want to get into? What experience do you have? How long have you played Rocket League? Just like a bunch of shit like that will make them feel more invested, and they become a better volunteer as part of that process. So I think the onboarding process should be literally asking them a bunch of questions and letting them talk. And then as soon as Foxes realizes they're not like a knife wielding clown psycho, then they can move on to the next step, which is a dress rehearsal.
Well, how did you get in here then?
I know, right?
So, Foxes, do you have a list of questions that you already know to ask, or do you kind of run that on the fly? Are you good there?
So far, when I have people signing up to stream, they don't really know what they're doing. So they don't know what they want to do. You know, like even when Bit first onboarded me, he was like, "Dude, do you want to do color or play-by-play?" And I was like, so I mean, a lot of it is. Hold on a
minute. We have a potential caster in training.
My dog is making all kinds of noise with her water bottle. Callie, what are you doing? What?
Nothing.
What am I doing?
Wait, put it back on my screen for a second.
Kitty.
Yeah, she wants to get in on the action.
She's like, we're showing off pets now.
And she just walked up here. I think she saw the dog.
Yeah. She was like, this is bullshit. I am the superior animal. Okay, so most of the time when people come to me, they don't know what they want. They're not even sure what's going on. You know, they might have watched streamers before. And, you know, some people have experience with the small streamer who's just going out to a couple people and they're playing maybe a smaller game. So it's kind of a smaller audience, more like what we're doing on our streams. But some people have only seen like the big, you know, PewDiePie and all those big people, and they might be looking at that and saying, how on fucking earth would I ever put on something that big? And the answer to that is with a finicky princess program like vMix. So that means, you know, there's a lot of timing. So that's a lot, what you were saying earlier, that's a lot of what I want to put in there is, you know, after the game, I'm going to give you 10 seconds of scoreboard. And then I'm going to stinger back to you. And then you'll have about 45 seconds to talk about the game, blah, blah, blah. And then the animation that Bit has lovely put together will kind of give them a very good timeline of when we're going back to the game. That way we don't have any of those awkward stop and starts.
So is that discussion of here's the framework of the stream, is that part of the initial interview? Or is that after we say, okay, we talked, now we're going to set up a demo stream?
Well, Bit just introduced the interview, so I don't know exactly.
This is brand new information. In fact, it
Well,
wasn't in my brain
that's why I'm
before
asking.
either.
Where should we put it?
Yeah.
Like, I think that's what we need to figure out. It's good to have these ideas, but let's actually order them and create a flow chart of, okay, this person is interested, Musical Foxes interviews them. Do you discuss that stuff at the interview, or is the interview solely about, hey, what do you want to do? What are you interested in? All of that aspect.
Honestly, the first 5 minutes, the biggest thing here is filtering them all through me, because right now people are reaching out to everybody to do everything, even though Bit and I have repeatedly over and over said, hey, Musical Foxes is running this. If you want to do shit, you should reach out to her. So, you know, I don't even have an idea of what assets we have. So getting people to reach out to me is a very good first step. But honestly, the original interview probably just going to be like 10 or 15 minutes where maybe I talk to them about their previous streaming experience. The short answer to your question is I think the first interview should just be those questions. Just about them. What do you do? What have you done? What have you seen? What are you excited to do? What are some of your skills and strengths that you're excited to apply towards what we're doing? And, you know, if they don't really have an idea, then I can go into our needs. You know, if you're just a jack of all trades and you just want to help, you know, here's 10 small projects that I think your skill set would be good suited for.
So now we've had the interview. I've passed your test. You think I can handle myself. What is the next thing? And I had an idea for that. If we're talking about doing an audition stream, but we're also talking about having a weekly day before match streams test with our casters for that week, why not do one right after the other? So it's just a block of time for us who are running the whole thing. You don't have to separate one from the other, and then they can even see the back end of what happens right before they do their demo run. So like, let's say we have matches on Saturday. If you do a Friday test run with the casters who are actually going to be streaming on Saturday, and you bring the new person in and say, okay, here's what we're doing, watch, learn, listen. And then right after that, we're going to do a demo stream with just you and one or two people who are willing to set time aside to play, and you'll get your chance to basically try it out.
Yeah, I don't think that's a bad idea. The vape's just really loud on the mic, so I mute for common courtesy.
Okay.
But yeah, that is a good plan. I mean, honestly, the biggest problem I'm seeing there is that we're having trouble finding people without this whole process. So, but I'm actually wondering if maybe this process would bring more people in, because then they're saying it's like a whole process. They're not just diving into a mystery thing, you know.
Exactly.
It's like, if you want to stream, this is the first 10 things that are going to happen to you.
Yeah.
I think having anything in place makes it a lot easier for people to actually get involved. But sorry, Ben, go ahead.
Yeah, I agree. I don't like the idea of an audition. You don't try out for teams here. Why should you audition to be on the stream team?
Yeah, that's why I laughed.
If you come in and you play gold,
when you said audition,
you should be on a team. And if you come in and you never cast before, but you want to, you should get to be a caster. I think people that are not working at improving or getting better, or that don't want to put on a good production, or that are pretty casual or lazy about it, will self-select out based on the level of quality that's there, right? If you've got teams that are all GC and somebody's gold, they're not going to want to be on a team anymore, because it's a mismatch. And I suspect those people that are not interested in getting better will stop wanting to cast. So I really like your the way you were framing it, and the different steps involved. You were talking about that more formal process, Riff, for what I would consider a dress rehearsal. But
I would definitely change the term from audition.
Drop the term audition. It's just a dress rehearsal. It's like, hey, we're going to stream, and you know, you have to attend a dress rehearsal before you stream. Yeah. And so, you know, let's say we've got Mike, and we've got this new cast of Riff Raff that we're planning on bringing on. To more directly answer your question, what I think should happen after the interview process is to say, okay, now you're available to sign up to, you know, cast a match based on the available time slots. We're only going to do one new caster per match, so per half-hour block. And and you need to go through a dress rehearsal first. So if you sign up for that 4 to 4:30 time slot on Saturday, you need to be at a dress rehearsal on Friday night, and we do dress rehearsals at 6 p.m. or 9 p.m. Eastern or whatever. And we go through, you know, a mock game, and if you don't do the dress rehearsal, you can't cast tomorrow. That's just how it works.
Do you think we should do a dress rehearsal the day before they are scheduled to go live for the first time, or should they do a dress rehearsal the first week that they show interest and they have the interview with Musical Foxes, and then we can put them on the schedule for the following week?
My answer to your question has everything to do with available resources, including Fox's time. If everybody who expresses interest needs to get a dress rehearsal immediately after they express interest, then that means that Foxes and other people need to set aside time to do a dress rehearsal for this person when we may not be playing a game right away.
Okay.
If instead everybody who shows interest, great, your next job is to sign up for a slot, and we do dress rehearsals based on whether or not we're going to do a stream. I suspect that we would better handle the limited resources we have if we said, here are the time slots that Foxes is available to produce. These are the time slots that you can sign up as a caster, and if we don't get signups for casters, we don't stream.
I was trying to think of... Go ahead.
Yeah. Well, just be respectful of your time as a resource, Foxes.
Yeah, no, I get that. I was thinking maybe like a scheduled thing, like every Friday at 9 or whatever, you know. And then if people want to join in midweek, if I have the time for that, I can be like, yeah, we can jump into this, or I'll try to coordinate that. But, you know, for the most part, like if you want to cast, you have to go into like an orientation type thing, and I run those every Friday at 9. And once you go through that orientation, maybe you can get... I've been trying to think of some kind of label, but first I thought of VC, because verified caster, but that's voice channel. Then I thought of CP for confirmed something, and then I was like...
That was just a really great pass over to Squishy in overtime NRG versus FaZe. That was fantastic.
Did you guys win?
NRG did.
Oh.
Well, they took game 3. I'm not playing. I'm watching. Yeah, go on. You're talking about different initials. I like certified caster, RLOF certified.
Yeah, so maybe just certified or something. Just something that shows I've gone. This is our caster pool. Oh, CP caster pool. That's what I was gonna do.
Okay.
So just something to show I've already been through orientation. You know, so like the team that we already have now, like Riff, Tiki, Mike. Those people are already verified. And then, you know, anybody who else goes through the orientation will become verified and enter the pool.
Yeah. And giving you, of course, the power to waive somebody's verification process. Like, if somebody shows up and they've done casting elsewhere and you've seen some of their streams, you're like, they know what they're doing. Ding, you're certified. You don't have to jump through these hoops.
Yeah. There should still, I mean, I'd still, maybe we can make a little packet. Like, hey, if you've streamed before, here's a little pamphlet about all the things that might be different with our stream. Or our timing, or whatever. Yeah,
they just need to learn the technical aspects of it rather than the actual I'm live. But I was going to say, Foxes, if you wanted to do a weekly thing where it's like known this is the day and time for casters, I would just recommend not having it be Friday nights, because that's when there is going to be league play as well.
Yeah.
All right. Well, maybe like Friday before league play, right? Maybe at 8 or whatever. Whenever, if league plays at 9, do it at 8.
Or whenever works. I don't really care. Just somewhere scheduled.
I do know that, for example, before league play, like if I have a league game, I want at least 45 minutes before my game to warm up and practice with my partner or with my team. So if a lot of other people are thinking that too, and some of them are casters, like I've been jumping in between the games that I have, it's sometimes hard to time that exactly. But whatever works for whoever's doing it that week is fine.
You know, one reason I didn't put together a team this season was I wanted to be available to do production stuff. I don't think it's the worst case Ontario if we say, hey, you know, if streaming and casting is important to you, make time to do it. And that includes it might eat into your Friday night matches. We all have limited time, and pick the thing that's important to you.
Yeah, this is just something you deal with. Just wants to be a part of the action.
All right, cool. So I've been getting audio this whole time.
So that's working. So we have, for a new caster process, the interview, then a dress rehearsal before their first go live. Is there anything else that the new caster needs to know or do, as in those hoops that we're talking about? Obviously, there's reading the caster Bible that you already have. What else?
I don't know that it should be anything more than that, right? Interview, read the Bible, do a dress rehearsal, cast.
Okay. So then, instead of for the casters, let's talk about the players, because this is something that I know doesn't get, I don't want to say focused on, because I know we're focused on getting the stream up and running and getting our casters in there to host it and all of that. But then the players themselves don't really know what to expect. And I know that a lot of times, as soon as the game starts, like the lobby opens up and they're in it, they'll just jump in and go.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking,
Ben and I fought against that. We're like, join the match, but don't join the match.
Right. So what if there was something we could send around to all of our players pre-match time, just saying, read this and acknowledge that you read it in Discord. It's just got all the details you need to know. And it's literally probably a 1-paragraph thing, because that's, besides that, is there anything else they need to know? That's just what I want to figure out now.
Congratulations, you're being streamed. Here are just like 5 quick notes that you need to know about being streamed. You know, here's a timing on which you should join and end. We're going to wait the full 60 seconds, so just be aware of that, because we need time for our commentators to blah, 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 blah. Everything's run on a schedule. Nothing is variable during the stream.
Yeah. So Foxes and I were talking about that last week, and we're sort of, I'm stepping in for now, or attempting to fill in what I'm considering like an event coordinator role, which is the person who communicates to get the players to start and not, communicates the lobby information, communicates what map we're on so that the cinematic matches, pre-populates the scoreboard, distributes the lobby username and information, and then sends that paragraph to the captains of each team saying, here's your lobby information. And that paragraph that you're talking about uses very specific wording like, connect to the lobby, but don't join a team until the spectator tells you to. And so we say connect to the lobby instead of join, because join means